How much has Awake New York put out this year to be so high? JaeTips at 23, disrespect. Trav at 1 is all I'm here for. Once again, a horrible list from Complex. Awake has dropped 1 shoe and Saks has given us the same shoe for 2 to 3 years. Interesting. I've never seen a more arbitrary list. List is chopped already. And Ronnie Feig trophy. Yeah, someone else said JaeTips should not be at 23, respectfully. So we're back with another complex list. Like, it truly just, it is the thing that continues to just keep on giving. Now, I'm going to have a different approach to this. I immediately thought, what the hell are they doing? I did, just likely like you. You probably thought the same thing when you saw this list. We should know what to expect with complex lists. Now, I've criticized their list in the past. I did, however, give them love, praise, and I gave them flowers in I'm not going to say recent, but in a podcast where the guys sat down and they were just kind of talking about that evolution and maybe maturing some past the consumption of footwear and sneakers into just appreciating maybe what you have, but you're not doing it at the same rate, right? There's the same love and passion, just not the same consumption. And I'm glad they went ahead to say that, because when I say it, it's a problem when I say it. I can't say that, but I supported them there. This list, I immediately thought we could probably throw the list away. I didn't have high hopes for it. And clearly you can see from the comment section, people have thoughts. That's what happens when you put something out on the internet. Someone will have a thought. We just seem to consistently have perplexing thoughts about complex in these lists. Now, why I say I'm going to have a different approach to this, because one, very similar to end of season awards for sports, right? If there isn't a hard criteria that you know is being followed, then it's subjective across the board of why someone maybe is selecting an individual for defensive player of the year versus maybe coach of the year, most improved, sixth player of the year. And then we know a lot of back and forth happens with MVP. We know that. And then ranking your first team, your second team. That's usually the more difficult part, actually. It's like your first team and your second team. So if you're into sports, then you know this isn't uncommon to see, I guess, some frustration over what are we doing? And what was the criteria? Like, what were we basing this on? And because we don't know that with this list, I don't know if it's a what have you done for me lately, because that would certainly catapult some up there. Like, I've seen some say, well, outside of what Union gave us early in the year, is there anything else they've done this year to catapult them that high on the list in 2025? Are we just looking at 2025? Are we really looking at a culmination of everything that they've done? And I think you can't, like, negate that. When you think of designers, you usually think of their entire catalog. I think it is more difficult for people to just look at a current year versus the total expansion of everything that they've done in sneakers, the culture, and across various brands. So yeah, seeing some be higher than others, I was scratching my head. I certainly don't think that JaeTips should be as low as he is. And I questioned why some were, higher than others. It is weird seeing Saks on the list at all. Because again, what are we really, getting new? And is it just based on hype and buzz? Because if it's just based on hype or even resale, like Travis Scott's name is certainly going to hold weight still. I know some are saying, who cares about a reverse swoosh anymore? I get it. You're asking that question, but people care whether you like it or not. Like, I'm not sure when this is coming out. I'm not, but we know that the Travis Scott and Fragment Jordan 1 Low is supposed to drop this weekend, I believe. I've seen on sneakers, not on sneakers. Maybe it's just on Travis's website. Maybe it's just exclusively in Japan. I don't know. That's not my lane to figure out where exactly something is dropping. So I don't know that, okay? Don't come for me there. I don't know that. But we know that people are anticipating this drop, whether it's to actually have the shoe and enjoy, because I really enjoy the first one, or if it's to resell, because this sneaker is going for $2,000-$3,000, okay? Like, I've seen it hit that high. Can you blame people? Like, especially in this economy, have you seen the jobs report? We cut rates. I feel like we did that too late. Again, not great times right now, but his name is going to continue to generate buzz. And the time that it actually doesn't, then sure, I think we can talk about that, but people care about this release. Having Nigel up there makes sense with the rollout, the way that he's held people's attention the entire year. But this is where I think it's different. Yes, JaeTips is lower on this list, far lower than I think that he should be. And will this, ever make him take a step back? Maybe if Complex reaches out to him for something, I don't know. That is a decision for him to make and do what's best for him. What I would say, should he even be concerned with Complex's opinion and ranking and where they value him in the grand scheme of designers? I'm not saying we don't care or we don't pay attention to publications, because we do. Media plays a very vital part in every and anything within this industry. However, it is not the end-all be-all. It is not the deciding factor of what value JaeTips truly holds within this space. That's at least how I see it. He has an upcoming release with 4 different pairs. I'll go ahead and actually rank my favorites just in terms of the colorways here, just so you guys can see. But there's excitement. Like, he has really done something special for Saucony. That can't be denied. And it's not like I don't see a fall off having happened. So I am trying to figure out why he is so low. But I would say, should he even be concerned with where they're ranking him? He's going to wake up every single day and go and put out what he wants to put out, move creatively as he wants to move. And I think more than anything, the people are going to decide how much they appreciate him, how much they value him. I don't think it's ever just based on these lists. I mean, come on, we've seen them put like a Dior 1 at the top of a sneaker of the year list. Come on. So that should tell you, take this list, I think, with a grain of salt if you're a designer. Yes, it feels good when someone does give you praise and they give you recognition and maybe they have ranked you high. But think about it. You holding so personally, so closely onto them ranking you high means the second they rank you lower or you drop in those standings, you're going to take that just as hard. And I don't know that you should. And that's not just like my thought in this list, but also just that's my thoughts of myself when it comes to anything. And I think that should be for anyone, right? Like, always appreciate the praise and the positivity and the support that you may get, but know that you still have to continue to believe in yourself and value what you're putting out. Know that you are putting out value regardless of where somebody else sees it or how they perceive it. Because you can choose to let the doubt fuel you, which so many people do, whether it's designers, whether it's athletes. We know that athletes let doubt fuel them. The hate that they may receive, right? There were so many of my favorite athletes, they continue to let that fuel them. And we know that there are current athletes right now, that's a catalyst for them to not stop, to not slow down. Matter of fact, an athlete that has her first signature sneaker dropping this weekend, depending on when this is coming out, I'm also going to be traveling. So me trying to navigate the whole drop and everything, listen, probably having navigated for my friend, because I am still, again, stuck on what my 5th and 6th pair will be because of the 3 colorways. There's also that 4th colorway that's dropping later in the fall that's closer to my birthday. That's also closer to when the Air Jordan 1 Love Chicago comes out. Do I still want that? I've laughed and teased myself even about the redundancy of sneakers that we buy. So you can see where I am, but yes, I'm talking about the AR1, and I love the rollout. I love that, again, she understands that a lot of it is based on a hate train, which is always funny to me, because if you really dislike something so much or you think it doesn't hold value, you wouldn't pay attention to it. That's just for haters in any sense of the word. You wouldn't really pay attention to it if you didn't think that it held any value. It's holding your attention. So she's ran with that. She hasn't let that stop her. And I think that's a testament, again, to her perseverance and her strength. But there are a number of athletes that they let doubt fuel them. And they go on to achieve more than any hater actually ever thought that they would achieve. And so I would say, based on this list, you know what? I was going to be outraged. I took a step back and said, is it really worth it? It's a complex list. That's not a knock at them, but truly, it's a complex list. You know what you're getting when you go into it. And often it feels like it's out of touch. So I'm sure we can move some people around. I am curious, what would be your top 3? Top 3 designers. You know what? Let's just go 5, because I about know a lot of you would have the same top 3. Let's go 5. Who would be your top 5 designers for 2025? That's it. Not anything else, just in 2025. Based on what they're doing this year. Let's see what you come up with. I'm certain I will jump in the comments and find something interesting. So hopefully you guys are engaging in the comments, okay? Always keep it respectful, but I do appreciate, any time that you spend just adding your 2 cents, because you don't have to. So I appreciate you watching this video. If you didn't catch one of my recent videos, we have a brand new Fear of God Essentials drop in 2020, 2021. I would have been all over that, but it's crazy how times change. So please be sure to check out that video. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Oh yeah, got a new hat and scarf combo. You can drop your thoughts on that below. All right, peace.